Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of KigerCraft. I'm Kiger here with Girin the bee. Look at this, he's such a bee. My gosh. Got a white little backpack, he's got little bee antlers and little bee toes, and we all know how much we love those toes. But yeah, so I'm back. So today we are going to be going to look for a cave. We're going to be doing a little bit of caving adventure. I don't really have... excuse you, door. Everybody, all the doors think that just because I've been gone for a little while, they can just do whatever they want. It's not the case. But yeah, so I'm back. So we are just going to go on a little bit of an adventure here today. We're going to try and find us a nice, good, solid cave to go adventuring in. I haven't really gone off back this away much, so we're going to see if we can't get something cool. Let's kill this skelly. Ah, you bastard! Damn skellies and their super bows. Alright, so, yeah, so I'm back. I'm back finally. I hope you guys have been enjoying the, Revenge of or Curse of the Pumpkin Prince. Yeah, that's what it is, while I was gone. I had a good trip, made it there, made it back nice and safe. So, yeah, so I didn't really have a whole lot planned, for this episode, but I felt like I needed / wanted to do just sort of a talking episode. And the reason being is that today was the big, Xbox reveal, and I'm sure, or yesterday, that's right, I'm sorry, yesterday. It's still technically today. Oh my gosh, I've been playing way too much Terraria. There is some crazy stuff going on here. Alright, cool, this looks good. Let's start here. So yesterday was the big, Xbox reveal. Everybody had been waiting for it, and the day finally came, and, I just have to say that, wow, disappointment much. I do not, really think that Microsoft could have made a poor showing if they actively would have tried. Yeah, so naturally, right away, you can pretty much tell that I was not impressed. I just hit exit trying to get to the menu. Playing way too much Terraria. Alright, cool. So yeah, so I was not impressed at all, for a multitude of reasons, actually. One of them being that the hardware is, pretty much the same as the PS3. So Microsoft can't really compete and say that, oh, we have better hardware or whatever, against Sony. And basically what I'm doing is I am looking at this from a context of, Microsoft versus Sony, the console war. Well, I don't know, but anyways, so I'm just going off of yeah, probably. Okay, this cave sucked. Cave, you let me down. It wasn't even a cave; it was like a hole in the ground. So basically, the hardware is pretty comparable. I actually think they're using different video cards, and I think the Microsoft one is is not as good as the PS3 one, but I don't know for sure. I've just heard some people saying that, and basically, I really don't care. I don't think that is really very important. I think that what was far more interesting and quite shocking, I have to say, is what Microsoft decided that they wanted their platform to be, which was a home theater device. Yeah, one of the things that they really wanted you to stretch is that the focus for Xbox One is what they're calling it, not the first Xbox One, is that it's for TV. Cool. I don't watch TV. I don't really know very many people that do watch TV who are in the same demographic that would be purchasing or may consider purchasing an Xbox. Like my grandmother still watches TV, but I don't think she wants an Xbox. And actually, I saw a little clip about how they were showing, talking about the TV, and they had The Price is Right is on, and I was like, The Price is Right is something that I only watch when I go over to Grandma's house. Because Grandma likes watching The Price is Right. And don't get me wrong, I like The Price is Right too, but I would never watch it on my own. Like, I'm not going to sit down and be like, hey, what am I doing? I'm bored. Let's turn on The Price is Right. No, I'm not going to do that. If Grandma's watching The Price is Right, I'll watch The Price is Right. But that's it. So basically, I watched like no TV at all. And I don't think that the demographic that they really should be targeting really watches TV as well. And it seems like from what they were talking about, there's this big focus on TV, but it's only available in the US and it only works with specific cable boxes. So it's gonna be pretty limited. And for being something that looks like it's supposed to be, a main feature, that's kind of concerning. I mean, what are they? What else do they have? I mean, because they didn't show any like interesting games. I mean, it was sports and TV and shooters, and that was it. There was nothing. I mean, it was really disappointing. I mean, I did not have any expectations to begin with, so my bar was set pretty low, and I was disappointed. I was expecting nothing and yet was disappointed by what Microsoft showed. I mean, it's like, I don't want to say that they gave up on consoles. Here's another cave. It's more like they decided that they're targeting a different demographic. The 18 to 29 crowd is no longer the main focus, or the 14 to 29 or whatever their target demographic was for the Xbox 360. It's like, oh yeah, we don't care about those guys anymore. We want to go for the 30, 40 somethings that have disposable income and watch TV. And actually, one person described it as having a TV shrine. Actually, that sort of makes some sense. Because I know older people, and older people love. Ooh, this is pretty. Abandoned Mineshaft. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Older people, like people like my dad. My dad loves his TV shrine. He's got a huge one, the nice big TV with audio receiver and surround sound, and that's what he wanted, so that's what he got. But I don't have those things. My dad will not be buying an Xbox One. In fact, he complains about my brother's Xbox 360 that's sitting there. So I really doubt that, even though it seems like he would be the kind of person that would be targeted by the Xbox One, he's not going to be getting one. I don't either, but people might get confused and stuff. So we gotta call it by its proper name, even if it's stupid. But I agree, it is stupid. Just agree. Yeah, just be like, yeah, screw that. Damn, that's that escape button again. Get me every time. Yeah, I know, right? Come on, go. Into the yeah, there we go. Alright, got it. So yeah. So that's some big problems there, and it's basically just on targeting. You know, it's like, who is this for? You know, like the basic questions that you like start off with on day one when you decide that you're gonna make a console for games. You know, there's questions I feel like you have to answer. You know, who's your target audience? You know, what do they want? What do they use? And I feel sort of like the questions that they asked or the answers that they thought they had were incredibly incorrect. And that's not even going into the serious problems, because, like, you know, this is just scratching the surface. It seems, oh hey, a skelly, or it's probably like a spider spawner. That's cool. It seemed like yesterday was just like bad karma day galore. These stupid spiders. You know, it was like you got one piece of bad news, and then, you know, you find out that your dog got hit by a car, and then, you know, the car was driven by, you know, your uncle, and then it exploded, and it's like, what the hell is going on? That was kind of like what yesterday was. It just seems like just bad news kept pouring in from everywhere about this Xbox thing, and you know, actually, I'm probably never going to find this again, so I'm going to take this mossy cobble with me. Okay, so I'm getting all like confused because I'm really flustered by this whole thing. Like, even though I don't really care, it's like, oh my god, what the hell are they doing? So let's talk about the console first, okay? It's like I said, it's not very different from the PlayStation 4. I mean, you've got, you know, a 8-core processor or whatever with, you know, 8 gigabytes of RAM and a video card and, you know, blah blah blah. You know, not really all that big a deal. But it's got and this is sort of like a tie-in to one of their big problems, but it's got a 500 gigabyte hard drive, okay? And, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, 500 gigabytes, that's cool. You know, I mean, like, you know, survived with no hard drive in my Xbox 360, you know, for, you know, since I've had it. Of course, I don't play it, but that's beside the point. So basically, you know, it's got a hard drive for you to use, which is nice considering how much they shafted everyone on the original Xbox, or the Xbox 360, I should say. You know, with the whole price of whoa, hey creeper, price of hard drive storage per gigabyte, like 10 times what it should be. So, you know, hey, it comes with one, cool. All right, but the problem is that it has mandatory game installs. So if you want to play a game, you have to install it directly to the hard drive. You cannot play it from a disk. It is not possible. It does not work. And suddenly, when you start thinking about that, and the fact that it has a Blu-ray drive, that 500 gigabyte hard drive seems very tiny. Very tiny. I can tell you that at 25 to 50 gigs, you know, per Blu-ray disc, you're probably going to fill that up really fast. Oh, I do need some coal. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's sort of like one of those. Oh yeah, I didn't change my skin because I forgot. But so if you guys are wondering why I'm orange, it's because I'm still wearing the Curse of the Pumpkin Prince skin that Garen made for me. But yeah, so you know the hard drive is gonna be filled up very quickly. You also have to remember, you know, it's also going to be a DVR, so you're going to be recording shows to it, and you know, that'll eat up everything super quick, like you wouldn't even believe. Oh geez, that escape button again, it's always getting me. What the heck? And there we go. So yeah, so that's a huge error on their part. I don't know who made that decision, but you know, I was like, okay. So it sort of got a little bit better from there. Oh, that's iron. It sort of got a little better from there when they said, oh, but you'll be able to attach external storage to your Xbox to, you know, supplement the fact that we put in such a tiny hard drive. And it's sort of like, oh, okay, you know, that's fine. I mean, it's got USB 3.0. It's got two USB 3.0 ports on the back for an external storage. But then, you know, you find out that, well, the hard drive is not user serviceable. And what that means is basically you cannot replace the hard drive yourself. Whether or not the hard drive can be replaced is a different question, but if it can, you will not be able to do it. The system will be locked, and it will be a proprietary hard drive, most likely, that you will not be able to get a hold of except directly from a Microsoft Repair Center or some such like that. So that's big, huge bummer, because people were like, oh, well, you know, if your hard drive fails, you know, in external storage. And it's like, well, not necessarily. See, typically what I would expect them to do is to make the external storage be just sort of a dump, you know, where you can dump data. But your internal drive is going to be where everything is stored. So you're going to have your Microsoft Xbox operating system. You know, all of the features and functions are going to be on that internal hard drive. And if it fails, well, that's going to suck. Because one, you're going to have to pay to get it fixed. Now, from what they're saying, it doesn't seem like you'll actually lose everything like you would previously with the Xbox 360, where if it died, it was like that was it was done. You're never gonna get anything back. All your save games, they're all gone. Apparently, and like I'm just like segueing all over the place right here because everything is just sort of tied together. You know, that's where the cloud services come in, and the required internet connection, and they did use those words, required. It is not a constant requirement. So if you lose internet for say 27 seconds, and you're not going to get bumped out of your game. But what they did say is that you will be required to connect to Xbox's servers once per day, every 24 hours. And if you can't, because you don't have a high-speed internet connection, or it's unavailable, or whatever, you're screwed. Basically. And I've been reading a lot on the internet, and people just don't seem to get it. It's like, yeah, a lot of us, yeah, it's like all servers go down and everything like that. It's like, yeah, a lot of people have access to high-speed internet. That is absolutely true, but not everyone. And that's why I'm sort of like, this is not really fair to those people. And plus, I don't want to have to, make special arrangements for my console, because I do not play online. It is just not something that I do. So I don't have a reason to have mine connected. No, it's not free. Of course, you have to pay for the internet in order to play your games. Just like, you have to pay for Xbox Live in order to watch the Hulu or the Netflix that you pay for. Yeah, I never really figured out how that made sense. But anyways, so that was one thing that everybody's worried about. Apparently it wasn't as bad as everybody was thinking it was going to be. But to be honest, it's not much better. So I'm just like totally getting all over the place right here. I just don't know what they were thinking. You know, well, actually, you know what? I can probably tell you what they were thinking. They were probably thinking with their pocketbooks, going, "All right, cool. So this is like, you know, this is gonna be great. Everybody's gonna love this. You know, we have, you know, tons and tons of fans already, and you know, they're gonna buy this because they're consumer whores." And you know, I'm sure that was their line of thought. So that sort of brings me into this next thing with the always on connection and the required installs for games. You're going to have to authenticate those games through Xbox Live. Now the thing is that once you register a game, it'll install it from the disk onto your hard drive. Okay. It'll also register it with your Xbox Live account. Now, basically what that means is it's going to flag your account as having, you know, this specific serial key. And that's, from what I've heard, that's how they're doing it. They're using licensing keys. Oh, hey, guy. You got some fancy armor on. Give me some. Well, fine. Didn't like you anyways. You know, so it's gonna pretty much add it into your Xbox Live account, which will allow you to do some cool stuff, like, you know, not have to have the disc in the tray in order to play the game. I never really thought that was a big deal, but okay, I guess that's cool. And you'll be able to re-download the game from the cloud, because presumably you're gonna have to you know, delete games often, you know, that you want to play, like, you know, to make room on your small hard drive. But okay, you know, fine, whatever. But then you get into sort of the tricky thing with used games. Yeah, you know, that thing that people do sometimes, and that I preferably like to do. I actually prefer to buy used games because I don't want to spend $70 on a game. I prefer to wait until maybe, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe like $20-30, and, you know, I get a deal. I like a deal, you know, because I'm poor. So used games are huge for me. But now with the new Xbox, and of course Microsoft is backpedaling like crazy on this, so it might change. But basically, this vice president for Microsoft was going around telling everybody that, you know, originally during the conference, it was, you know, you can't loan out games, and you can't resell games without incurring a quote-unquote fee. So they didn't say what this fee was, just that if you are not the original owner of the game disc, you had to pay a fee to transfer it from one Xbox Live account to another. And that's how quote-unquote used game sales were going to work. Well, later on in the day, this Microsoft senior VP said that basically this fee that they were talking about was list price for the game. So say you purchase a game. Oh yeah, disc. Cool. Let's say you purchase a game. Okay, it's $60. You know, you buy Call of Duty, you know, same as last year. And then you play it for, you know, 4 to 6 hours, whatever the average lifespan of the game is, and you're tired of it because, hey, it's same as last year. It's literally the same as last year. So you're sick and tired of it, right? Oh crap. So you decide that you're gonna give it to your buddy, you know, because your buddy, you know, he's a college student. He doesn't have a whole lot of money. He's got to pay, you know, $3,000, you know, for books every semester. So he's kind of poor. So you want to help him out. Well, basically, you own that game. You own the code that's associated with that game. So you give your friend his game disc. You didn't actually give him the game. Basically, what you did was you gave him an install piece of software, and he's gonna go home and he's gonna plug it into his Xbox One, and he's gonna find out that he has to pay $59.99 to install that game on his Xbox. He has to pay the full list price for that game that you gave him. And so that is the fee, quote unquote, is basically you have to buy a license to play the game. Now, I am not a fan of that at all, because I think that it effectively kills the used game market. I mean, because really there's no such thing as a used game. You're just damn it. You're just, passing around a piece of installer software. Really, I mean, game discs don't exist anymore, as far as Microsoft is concerned. It's all downloadable now. And whether or not you have a download disc that's, hard, or versus downloading it directly from Xbox Live or, whatever, is not really all that different. Even though it seems like it is, it's not. So basically this vice president went out and said that, and Microsoft is in like 100% damage control mode right now. They are freaking out. Their customer service reps on Twitter are basically trying to disavow everything that this VP said. They blamed it on Kotaku, who originally reporting it, saying that that article was full of inaccuracies and stuff, and it's like, God, guys, it's so transparent. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious what's going on that they're totally trying to cover their asses, because hello, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's freaking diamonds. All right, cool. They are just basically freaking out, and maybe they didn't actually think this through. I mean, that sounds kind of weird, but this is Microsoft that we're talking about here, so it is entirely plausible that they did not think this out, and they have pretty much no idea what they're doing. There's nothing down there except bedrock. That's my... How many times is that gonna happen? Haven't failed yet. I don't know. I mean, I've talked about this sort of like this no used games always online thing sort of at length. And with the guy, the guy who worked for Microsoft, who was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 this and that, and then like, they're like, oh yeah, that's not true, he didn't speak for us, he's fired. And then they sent out a memo where they're like, this policy and stuff. And I remember somebody made a comment where it's like, yeah, because my company, yeah, we send out reminders that the policy that's always been the policy is still the policy all the time. And it was like, yeah, so this is driving me crazy. So basically, I'm pretty sure that Microsoft is completely full of it. I really think that it's gonna be a huge deal breaker for some people. Now there are a bunch of people out there who are like, no, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be as bad as you think, because Microsoft is good, and I like them. It's like, come on. I mean, the sort of like the apologists. I was watching Angry Joe rant about it earlier, and he called them apologists, and I was like, that's actually a good word. Oh my God, I'm swearing. Because they are sort of apologists. They're, apologizing for Microsoft and stuff. And it's like they don't care about their fans or their people or whatever you want to call them, their Xbox people. They are here to do one thing, and they're oneers. Oh gosh, now the Xbox fans are gonna be compared to One Directioners. They're One Xboxers. There you go. Start that trend. Start it right now. Make it a thing. Exactly. There you go. Anybody who likes this is pretty much crazy, in my opinion. So, but anyways, basically, it's you can't defend this. I mean, you can say it's like, oh, it's a mistake. It's not like that as much as you want. But basically, Microsoft's here for one thing and for one thing only. They are here to make money. And they want to be in good with the publishers. And the publishers want to make money. And they said, basically, this is what we want. I mean, don't you think it's a little bit funny that... Yeah, I know, right? But don't you think it's a little bit funny that a day after EA says that they are going to discontinue the online pass, Microsoft announces their next-gen console with pretty much the same thing? I mean, come on. This is publishers. This is what publishers want. This is what they've been trying to implement, and now that they have Microsoft on their side, they don't need to keep doing it on their own. Whoa. Really? I mean, that's basically what this is. This is a hardware level online pass. So if you didn't like the online pass, you're going to hate this, basically. Because this is literally no different. And in fact, in some ways, it's actually a lot worse. So, I don't know. I really think that Microsoft blew it. And they didn't just blow it like with a little bit of TNT. They stuck like a straight up nuclear bomb right up the Xbox brand's butt and just detonated it without even blinking. They really messed up. I mean, with the focus away from games and to TV and, this whole online thing that everybody hates, and going with, oh geez, I'm backtracking here. And going with things like, did you mention when your friend takes the game, you lose it? Yeah, I did. I did mention that. How it's removed from your account. But it's like, oh my god, what are you guys doing? I mean, Sony did this. I mean, not to this extent. The PS3 was supposed to be a home entertainment center. And Microsoft destroyed Sony. The PlayStation 3 was great. Awesome. But it didn't do well because Microsoft was like, "Hey, yeah, we got games." And that's what people cared about. They went there for the games. And pretty much Microsoft has said that, yeah, games, aren't popular anymore. What's popular now is TV and content and, stuff like that. And it's like, really? I just don't think that it's going to be popular. I mean, I think that it'll probably be one of the least used features, this TV feature. I think it'll be a complete waste, to be honest. And everybody's going to hate it. All right, good. No, didn't lose any diamonds. Because I just don't think that it fits into. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. Exclusives, like they don't have any. Like really, I mean, they said that they did, but they didn't show any of them. I mean, if they did, I think they would have showed them. But, you know, whatever. Maybe they're saving for E3, though I think that this was probably far more important than E3. Because right now, pretty much, it's going to be all bad press. It's going to be all bad press until E3. And they pretty much blew their shot. Yeah, I mean, you know, Gieran's right. You know, they're probably going to be Microsoft Studio games. But I don't know. I'm just completely mind blown by what Microsoft did. And it makes me wonder, like who's responsible for this? Like, seriously, Microsoft has made some seriously bad choices in the last couple months. I mean, not taking this Xbox thing into consideration, I mean, whoa. Look at Windows 8. I mean, it's terrible. Awful, terrible. It's not selling. It's bad, and they just refuse to admit that they were wrong. And I feel like this is sort of the same thing. It almost feels like the same people who were in charge of that debacle are in charge of this. They think that they have the ability to mold the market to their whims. Like they're some sort of you know, God company, that what they say goes, and you know, they can move the markets with their mighty hand. You know, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, the arrogance of it is just absolutely astounding. I mean, it's like, who do you think you are? I mean, these guys are not Apple, which sometimes I think maybe they think they are. Exactly. Gamers choose with their wallets. They are not loyal to you as a brand. They are looking for a product. And until you stop offering that product, gamers will continue to give you money. You know, you don't want to get... I think Microsoft is confused about their relationship with gamers. I seriously think that gamers are there because they love Microsoft. They are loyalists, but no, they're there for their games because Microsoft has a ton of money and went out and bought... Oh, shit. Woo. Microsoft has a ton of money and went out and bought, you know, all the games and made sure that their Xbox had all the games that people wanted. And it was the games. You know, it's about the games, stupid. So, yeah. I don't know about this. I mean, it will sell. They will sell some, because there are people who are out there who are like, apparently this is like their godsend. This is like the thing that they've been waiting for. It's the second coming to them. And I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, you know, anybody who doesn't, you know, think this... I have no idea. Basically, you know, they're like, you know, if anybody doesn't like this, they're dumb. And it's like, no, you're dumb. I mean, you can like it. I mean, if that's what you want, and if it's going to do what you want, that's fine. That's great. I just think that this thing doing what most people want is going to be a minority thing. I just don't think that many people are going to use what this thing has to offer, to be honest. Yeah, oh, that's another thing. I completely forgot about it. No backwards compatibility. And yeah. Pretty much Microsoft has given people absolutely no reason to stick with them. I mean, they are just throwing everything in the fire with this. So, I mean, no backwards compatibility. That's huge. And I actually looked into it, and it's sort of the same reason It's sort of the same reason with Sony, but not quite. I think Microsoft could make a Xbox 360 emulator work on the Xbox One if they really wanted to, but I don't think they really want to. I really don't think they do. I think they would rather have you rebuy the games. You know, they're gonna put them on some sort of Xbox Live, you know, you already bought it once store, and make you buy it a second time. Also, anything that you purchased from the Xbox Live Arcade, gone. Can't play it anymore. Just pray that your 360 isn't red ring, and you can keep playing those games. But if it ever does red ring, then you're screwed. That was super disappointing. And like none of the accessories are going to be backwards compatible. You have to rebuy all your accessories because they are going to encrypt the accessory channel. So you know that really cool like $200 you know joystick that you have for Street Fighter 4. Yeah, you're not going to be able to use that. So yeah, it's just like, man, it's almost like they literally tried to piss everyone off. And if that was their goal, then they certainly met it. That's for sure. Certainly met their goal. But yeah, I don't even know. I'm like speechless. Like I don't even really care about it, but you know, I watch this stuff closely because I like technology, and I think, you know, consoles, you know, exactly, that's how bad it was. Consoles are important because a lot of people play consoles, so it sort of affects, you know, me as a PC gamer. But like, I didn't even care, and I was upset. I mean, I have nothing invested in my Xbox, literally nothing. Yeah, they offended me on principle as a gamer. That's a good way to put it. Oh man, I'm walking in circles now. But yeah, so alright, I gotta figure out if there's anywhere else I can go, but it looks like I'm pretty much heading back up to the surface. So now's probably gonna be a good time to go ahead and end it. I've been talking in circles for a little while anyways. That stupid escape, man, I swear to God. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for another episode of KigerCraft. It's good to be back. Hope that you guys enjoyed my little ranty episode. We're back to the ravine. I guess we'll just keep walking this way. So we're gonna finish up the Curse of the Pumpkin Prince, so you guys can look forward to finishing that here pretty soon. I think there's just a couple episodes left. So that's hope you guys are enjoying that. We had a lot of fun with that. And then yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yep. So I've reached the end of the ravine. So we will see you guys next time. Take care.